This is Doofy McButterscotch, and we're finally getting back to the movie reviews. It took long enough, but I finally have a day where I've got long enough to upload one of these. Anyway, we left off on Backdraft. I didn't really review that one, so let's get back to it. Backdraft is all about firemen and them dealing with insane fires. But there's a little bit of a conspiracy. There's a couple people there that they're not really that great of firefighters, and they're kind of betraying. But there are some insane fires that like go crazy, kill a whole bunch of people, and the bad guy eventually dies. The best movie ever? Probably not, but it's a good movie to watch for some action. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Well, spoiler alert, Mary Shelley is not in this movie. So, bummeroony, not in it. This is a real different Frankenstein movie. Robert De Niro plays Frankenstein, not the creature. He should clearly be called Frankenstein, not the creature. That's ridiculous. But he's a real different Frankenstein from the Boris Karloff movie. He's super duper sensitive. Sometimes he's got the occasional strength here and there. He's not too deformed. I mean, he's got a few scars here and there, but it's not really that bad. It's a real different take on Frankenstein, so if you're a big Frankenstein freak, then you should check this out to see Frankenstein from a different perspective. You might like it, you might hate it. I certainly wasn't the biggest fan of it, but that doesn't mean that'll be the same for you. You might like it a lot, or hate it, like me. But let's see, what do we got next? We've got Casino. Well, as you can guess, it's probably set in Las Vegas. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I've got a pretty good guess there. All about Robert De Niro and a few other people making some gambling that is deadly, and it's a gangster movie, and it's, fun fact, this movie uses the F-bomb so much that it's in the top 10 movies for using the F-bomb the most. So, if you're a real big fan of the F-bomb, you should definitely watch Casino, because they say it a hell of a lot in there. And it's your typical gangster movie. Some people get killed, some people don't. It's got Sharon Stone in it, so if you like it, if you like the gangster movies, you should go for it. If you're not a big gangster fan, then don't go for it, because it probably won't be your cup of tea. Anyway, The Godfather Part 2. Now, we reviewed the first Godfather movie back with Marlon Brando, but now we're going to review the second part, which I didn't like as much. I liked the first one a lot better than the second one. I mean, the scenes with Robert De Niro, he plays Vito Corleone, the same character Marlon Brando played, but he's playing him as a younger character. And, you know, I'm not a big fan of, like, subtitles and using authentic foreign accents. I mean, being a guy who can only speak English, I mean, I prefer when people speak English, because reading reminds me of school, and school wasn't really that fun for me, and yeah, reading. I like to read as little as I possibly can. When I watch a movie, I don't want to read, I want to watch. I don't want to read. So, the scenes with Robert De Niro, I mean, they're just, yeah, it's kind of a bore, because it's all in subtitles, and occasionally he'd kill someone, but it doesn't really add much to it. And the main story with Al Pacino in the present is kind of alright. It's got a few twists and turns, but I think the foreign scenes just kind of ruin it, personally for me. I mean, some people obviously think this is a masterpiece, and it's not a piece of crap. I mean, I just prefer the first one over the second one, so that's what I think. So what do I think of Robert De Niro? What do I think of him? Well, I think he's pretty good. He doesn't have a lot of range. I mean, he's mainly a gangster stereotype guy. I mean, he'll occasionally do some weird stuff like Frankenstein and the guy from Cape Fear, but mainly he is a gangster guy, and he's pretty damn good at doing that. And you know, I kind of like him. He's okay. Robert De Niro isn't horrible. Give him a thumbs up. That's what I think of him. Leonardo DiCaprio. Alright, let's see. Titanic. Well, the first time I ever watched this movie I was a kid, which wasn't that great. It's not really the best movie for kids, because I mean, when you're a kid and you watch Titanic, you're bored shitless and you want to go to bed. You want to play with your toys, like I did. But you know, later on in life, when I watched this again, it's a pretty good romantic movie. I mean, as far as chick flicks go, this is at the top of the list. It's pretty damn good. And it's got some good action sequences too. It's got good stuff in there. I mean, there's certainly way crappier romantic movies than this one. And for a movie set in Renaissance ages, they don't really ruin it with old-fashioned language, which is a good thing. And it's the second highest grossing movie of all time, beaten only by Avatar, but that movie won't be covered on this book because it was made way after this book was published. So, yeah. Titanic! I can't really say too much about it, so, because almost everybody has seen it, so there's not much I can really tell you that you don't already know. Catch me if you can now. I didn't hear about this movie for quite a while until I got this old book. It's actually pretty darn good. It's one of those chasing movies, as you can guess by the title. Leonardo DiCaprio plays Frank Abagnale Jr., which is a master thief who goes around and sabotages stuff, steals money, and impersonates people, and does a real good job. And Tom Hanks is the dorky detective who tries to catch him, which, I mean, Tom Hanks is a really good actor, but I do not think he pulled this role off. He can do Woody, he can do Forrest Gump, but I'm just gonna say it, he sucked in this movie. He was not a believable detective at all. He was a lame detective. But anyway, let's get away from that. Catch me if you can. It was a real good chasing movie. Really, really good. It was pretty awesome. I think you should definitely watch it because it's one of the good chasing movies. Gangs in New York, I think we'll have to do that next time. And hopefully I won't have to take as long as a break to do that one. So, see you next time.